The Importance of Expanding Your Family Communication Bandwidth, an article by Amy Cameron, RDI Consultant, Relationship Development Intervention. Communication is more than talking. It's more than words. Just as a song is more than its lyrics. Thoughtful, reciprocal communication is essential for developing flexible minds. Through communication, people share experiences, thoughts, and ideas. Enables people to pass ideas through others, gain different perspectives, and expand upon what is known beyond solitary experience. It impacts a person's ability to self-monitor and to develop a self-identity. Thoughtful, reciprocal communication impacts the person's ability to think, remember, and relate to others. It is essential for survival in the dynamic world that requires interaction with other people. Autistic individuals can be thoughtful and reciprocal communicators. It is an essential component of the RDI program. In this program, parents learn how to modify their communication and reciprocal communication. Brain bandwidth. Dr. Steve Gertzstein describes the development of communication using an analogy of bandwidth. Typically, babies spend the first 2 years of their lives broadening their communication bandwidth. During this period of time, children don't do a lot of talking, but they do communicate. Talking or language development becomes a major enhancement to communication after they have mastered the other aspects of communication. Prior to learning to speak, children usually are masters of using gestures, facial expressions, and vocal elements like intonation, timing, emphasis, pacing, otherwise known as prosody, to communicate their intentions. They normally have a good understanding of contextual processing. For example, it is okay to hug grandma, but not okay to hug a stranger. And integrate to predict the future, and the ability to integrate and thrive in dynamic situations. All of this requires general activation of many different neural processing centers, like a wide area network that a person can use as needed. On the other hand, many autistic individuals learn to talk without many of these elements in place. Speech without the other elements of communication requires only limited activity of brain centers or very narrow bandwidth. By reinforcing narrow bandwidth, and tightly linked to specific stimuli in the environment. Using a narrow bandwidth is faster, but not better. Increasing brain bandwidth slows down response times because it requires a lot of brain energy. Broadening neurological bandwidth in this RDI program, and parents are the key. They are the ones with the ability to provide their child with numerous opportunities for simple shared experiences. Through these experiences, parents can help their child develop awareness and thought prior to speaking. They can expose their child to the many rich functions that language serves and limit narrow band or means to an end communication. Questions, commands, and prompts. Parents can encourage broadband brain activation and thoughtful reciprocal communication in the following ways: providing many simple shared experiences with their child, limiting the amount of verbal language directed at the child, slowing the rate of communication, increase and amplify the use of gestures, facial expressions, positioning, and states of physical tension. Increase and amplify the use of vocal prosody, so emphasis, intonation, pacing, timing, volume changes. Limit questions, commands, and prompts to 20% of what is said to the child, but do not demand or elicit responses from the child. Increase the child's exposure to the many rich forms of experience sharing communication. Declarative communication. Be patient. It takes time to widen bandwidth and develop meaningful communication.